I made one video, okay? Just one, where I wanted to celebrate my tiny little milestone of 100 subscribers, just as a joke. And you freaks managed to get me up to over 2,000 subscribers, which means now I have to make another play button. Now, I didn't know what I wanted to make this play button out of. I'm sure you've noticed it's taken over half a year for this video to come out. I didn't want to do wood. It just seemed way too basic and easy. I thought about doing plastic, like melting down like plastic water bottles, but that sounds way too toxic. I even thought about doing glass, but I decided against it right when I realized I had no idea what I was doing. And then I realized I was overthinking it. I didn't need to do anything complex. I just need to keep things simple and grounded. I'm gonna carve a play button out of stone, so. Okay, I have no idea what I'm doing and a lot of questions I need to ask. So let's start with question number one. How big am I gonna make this play button? Now, if you recall from last episode, I took the measurements of a silver play button, found a difference in scale of 1.4 inches, and then I found the size of our dirt play button. That was the hardest part. We took care of that months ago. All I need to do is just take the measurements of the dirt play button and scale them up by 1.4 inches, which gives us our new size of 5 inches wide and 6 inches tall. That's it. That's all the math that we have to do. Like all this right here, we're done. Now let's move on to my next question. Where am I gonna get all this stone? Unlike my, dirt play button, I can't just, dig into the ground and pop up chunks of rock. I don't live in a slate quarry or anywhere near one, actually. That would be the better phrase to use. Can I buy some stone? Like buy it online and have it shipped to my house? Is that how that works? Is that even possible? I'm gonna look this up. Give me a second. Okay, I found a website. Okay, shop.sculpt.com seems to be a web address that mass distributes stone products. I mean, look at all this stuff here. Granite, marble, pipestone, sandstone, soapstone, travertine. I've never heard of that. Wonderstone? What the fuck? Okay, all right. Clearly, I need to set up some guidelines. I need a piece of stone that is both A, something that is soft and easy to work with as a first-time stone carver, and B, something that is relatively inexpensive. But looking at what they have to offer, I think the best thing for me to work with is a piece of limestone. All right, it's a softer rock, not as soft as soapstone, but it's also a sedimentary rock and a pretty common one at that, which makes it pretty cheap. Let's go with this one, 10 by 10 inches. That's more than enough material for me. $45. I don't know if that's a good deal or not. Surprisingly enough, I've never bought stone online, or at all for that matter. What am I saying? But this is one of the cheaper options, so we're gonna go with that. Add a zip code. Oh, right, I forgot to mention. I learned that this shop is actually based in Canada, which means that we might have to do with international shipping. But I mean, I live close enough to Canada, so I don't think it'll be that bad. I'll do it for the bid. Okay, our stone has been ordered. All we have to do now is just wait for our package to arrive. Your item is currently making its descent and will arrive at its destination momentarily. I don't know what I was expecting. That is legitimately just a slab of stone that I just got shipped to my house. Good God. All right, we have our stone slab in hand. Small problem, it's a little big. Actually, it's nearly twice the size that I need. So, time to ask my third question. How do I reshape this slab to make it the right size? Now, I know there's a way you can split rock by using a hammer and chisel, by making a score across the surface and then just giving it a nice big whack and then just splitting it apart evenly. Again, never done this before, so I don't trust my judgment. Right now, breaking off chunks of slab is not the way we should go. Right now. Instead, I think the best way around me trying to get this reshaped is by cutting it. Now, luckily for me, I just happen to have the perfect tool for the job. This is a wet saw, made specifically for cutting stone. All right, here's how this works. There's a hidden compartment by the saw blade, which if we can get to pry it open, we will find a water reservoir. Now just take any kind of water, fill it up to the line, and you're ready to go. It'll spit on you if you get too close to it. Now you might be asking yourself, why do I need a certain saw for this? I mean, there's so many other saws in this room. Why can't I use this one, for example? This beautiful chop saw, just sitting here, waiting to cut something. This is really dumb, I know, but there's at least one person thinking this, I know it. And yeah, there's plenty of reasons why I can't use a saw like this. If we look at a saw blade used for wood cutting, you'll notice it's made up of several teeth that are sharp and angled in a certain direction. These blades are made to bite down and cut through softer material and can usually be found in applications that spin at 5,000 RPMs or rotations per minute. Compare that to a typical stone blade, you'll find less segments that are, in some cases, not even angled at all. They're nowhere near as sharp as wood blades, and if you look close enough, you'll find that each segment is embedded with tiny pieces of diamond. This is less of a blade and more of a grinder than anything else, and therefore are found in machines that spin at roughly 10,000 RPMs. This might not be entirely true, I tried my best with my research, but the point is, it would be very unwise of me to use any other saw to cut this slab, because not only would it damage the equipment, but it might kill me. It could kill me. Now, that's not to say that this is entirely safe. You might have noticed that our saw blade's pretty small. Despite it actually having a 2-inch radius, it doesn't sit tall enough in the saw to actually make a complete cut. I also might have pulled the safeguard off because it would have gotten in the way of the stone. Don't do any of what I'm doing, okay? I'm an idiot. I'm willing to admit that. If, God forbid, something goes wrong and I just fall like chest first onto this blade, that's on me, okay? I'm willing to take full responsibility for that. I'm aware of my potential consequences. And you know what? I'm gonna face them head on. All right, let's go, boys. So how are we gonna cut our stone with a blade that's way too small? Simple, just make multiple pass-throughs. Start on one side, send the slab completely through, then flip it over and do it again. Looking at it now, you'll notice a thin line of stone that got left over. This is where I use the chisel technique that I mentioned earlier in this video, as this part here is small enough to make a controlled split that's, well, it's mostly clean.
Beautiful. Benedicite. I don't speak a lick of Italian.
Now, all that's left is just making a second set of pass-throughs, which is much easier the second time around, splitting the stone again, and finally making our tracings, once again using your middle-aged mom's favorite pastime hobby tool thing. Once that's all said and done, we are now ready for the most important part. All right, we're at the home stretch now. Let's talk about how to carve letters. Now, in my research, I found that there are different people that carve letters in stone in different ways. I've seen people take their sketches and then take their chisel right on the line and start taking chunks off and letting that chisel guide into the groove in the center. I think the way that I do it is easier for beginners in stone carving. Now, I want to emphasize, I've been practicing like crazy off screen, just carving to our scrap piece of stone here. So I would say I have a pretty fair idea. Where's the rest of it? Here it is. A pretty fair idea of what I'm doing, I think. And that method being first getting your chisel and actually getting your safety equipment, and then start by making a shallow groove right down the center of your sketch. That groove will serve as your guiding line, and really everything after that is just taking that line and making it wider and wider until you reach the edge of your sketch. It really doesn't matter if it's not the straightest thing in the world, you can definitely clean it up afterwards. All that matters is that you have something in the center to work around that. Also, you should have a brush handy. I should grab that real quickly. Now, you want to keep in mind, depending on whatever sketch you use, you might have to do some funky turns. Like right here, we have a bit of a tail at the end of our L, so we just got to go right up by it. And then as we come in, we just make a slight twist like that. Really, that's about it. It's no more complicated than that. All this is just a matter of cleanup. All right, and there we have a basics of a carved letter. We can go in, clean up with water, and if we need to afterwards, we can go in and just chisel out some more just to make sure it's just nice and spiffy. Is that the right word? I don't know. All right, that's one letter down. We got, what, 1, 2, 13 more. Now I gotta do all of that on top of making it actually interesting to watch. Oh.
The day's too short, the night's too long to right those wrongs, but life goes on. The day's too short, the night's too long, but once again it's on. The day's too short, the night's too long to right those wrongs, but life goes on.
This special piece is hand carved from Indiana limestone, perfect for any home. So don't wait. Call the number on screen now to place an order while supplies last. It's here, it's finally done. The stone play button. Half a year later, I know, but it's here, we're done. Obviously, this would not be possible without your guys' support. I know I'm saying this while pointing at a piece of rock, but I promise you this means a lot to me, so thank you. Oh, happy 2 years, by the way. I forgot to mention that the entire video, and this video is going to come out way after that date, so whoops. I won't get into as much detail as I did last year, but what I will say is that a year ago at this point in time, I had like just shy of 50 subscribers. Now I am at just shy of 3,000, and that is insane to me. I can't believe it. Now I'm excited for the next play button video. Oh wait, that's at 10,000 subscribers. If I get to 10,000 subscribers, I will make another play button video. That will take a while if I even get to it at all. So expect some normal, in quotes, videos in between. So for now, that's it for this video. I will see you guys next year. I will see you guys next year. Thank you and goodbye.